So real quick, let's talk about the alterations that I've noticed. As I was sitting down wearing the pants, I noticed that my butt crack was showing, even with the waistband on top. So what I had to do is add more rise to the back panel. But obviously I can't add fabric to fabric, so the next pair of pants will add the rise so that way when I sit down it'll be more comfortable. So that's one alteration. The other one is I was having trouble putting my foot through the leg hole and through the knees. It's a little tight. So what I'm gonna do is open up the seam allowance. So we're gonna go from a 1 cm, we're gonna slightly taper down to 7.5 to half cm. And so what that's gonna do is open up the leggings a little bit more. And it's Thursday morning, and I've been working on the fitting of the pants. And just a quick change of plans, actually. I'm actually going to do a different seam allowance measurement. We're going to go 0.75 all the way down, taper down to half centimeter all the way down, and sewed up the new seam allowance on both out seams, and they fit way better. So around the knees, less tightness. I could squeeze my feet through the hole, and also the leg holes I was able to fit my feet through, so big improvement there. So the adjustments I did was for the outseam from all the way here, 4 inches down from the waistline, it was 0.75 all the way going down here, tapered it down to half a centimeter all the way down, and on the inside as well. And so that's gonna complete the alteration. I think it's a good fit. And then lastly, for this pair, I'm going to just finish the hems because the other alteration thing I need to do is add more rise. And so I can't really do that to an existing pair of pants. So that's the next one. But overall, I think I'm just going to add belt loops and finish the hems, and we'll call this a pair of jeans, pair of pants. The habit to go to the library more often after work when I'm not sewing, because they have great resources. Like the books that I read there, good selection. So I just took a bunch of notes on, pant anatomy, foundation, like the crotch, the rise, seating, just getting a better understanding of just the foundation of what makes the pants fit. And so alterations, fittings, all that stuff. And I took some notes about the fabric grain because I had kind of some confusion while I was making the pants, like, oh, do I cut against this? So I took some more notes on, where to cut on the fabric. I also got a better understanding of like the commercial industry and the garment industry, like what seam allowance measurements they use. And so I can kind of like translate that into my own garment making. And then I also took just more notes and got a little bit more creative with it and started reading up on like different designers and what they used. And Balenciaga, they mentioned Balenciaga and Givenchy and how they used lines and to create the shape and silhouette. And I took some notes on that. But before my fabric arrives this Sunday, I made some adjustments to my pattern. So in this little wait time period, I'm going to be focusing more on the creative side because one of my goals this year is to release my set collection of the pants with the collared shirt. And so I'm going to be reading up on fabrics, what fabrics I want to use and learning how to sew with them and pattern make with those. And so, yeah, that's what's going to be pretty much what I'm going to be doing for the rest of this week till my fabric comes in. Soon, but the fabric never came last night, so that's gonna wrap up this episode. But this is the panels. This is the pattern that I'm gonna be using for the fabric for the pair of pants that when the fabric does come, and it should arrive later today while I'm at work. But as you can see, I've added this yellow thing right here. It's actually the rise, and I've actually trimmed along the sides for the new seam allowance, so it'll be easier for me to copy over onto the fabric. And for this one, I'm going to really focus on making sure the waistband is true to the waistline and adding belt loops and really making sure the buttonholes are all aligned correctly with proper measurements. And we'll focus on the hemlines as well. But I want to really see how these come out. It's going to be using duck canvas fabric, so it's going to be sort of similar to the denim, kind of heavyweight, so I can really see the drape. But yeah.